So I'm going to take you through my process starting at the beginning when I received my impression kit and ending when I purchased my aligners. Stay tuned to the end of this video to see the timeline of this process for me and how long each step took as far as sending things in, getting my treatment made, approving my impressions. At the end, I will also reveal the cost that I paid for this whole process and how I can help you save money on your process as well. Here you can see the box that the impression kit comes in. Inside you'll see step 1, step 2, and step 3. Step 1 is the pictures and the instructions for the impressions. Step 2 is the actual impressions, and step 3 is sending in the impressions. So I'm going to show you my pictures that I took, and I've heard a lot of stories from other people that they've sent pictures in multiple times and they keep getting denied, but I sent mine in the first time and they were approved like 24 hours after, so I really didn't have any problems. They have you send in a smiling picture from the front, a non-smiling picture from the front, and a non-smiling side view. Then you have your teeth pictures, so they give you a stretcher in your impression kit that you use, and you take a front view like normal, bite down, and then you do each side from there. And in these, I did actually have to pull the stretcher a little out to get that back angle because it didn't show everything, and I wanted to show like all my teeth in the picture so that my pictures didn't get denied. So I kind of had to pull it out and make sure that picture showed the bite in the back of my mouth. Then you do your upper and lower arch. So again, you want to make sure that your mouth is open wide enough that you can get your full upper and full lower arch. This was kind of difficult for me personally because I have a small mouth, so I could only open it so wide. So you can see in my upper arch picture that like the bottom of my mouth is kind of in the picture because that's as far as I could open my mouth. I couldn't do it anymore. So the first time I tried to do my impressions, I got the kit all ready and I was ready to go, and I had kind of heard about this before from other people through comments on Facebook, and I heard some people the impression guard was too big for their mouth, and so I kind of wondered, I'm like, I wonder if that'll happen to me because I have a small mouth. So I was kind of thinking about that, so I went to do my impressions and I could not get the thing even in my mouth. Like, I get that it's supposed to be uncomfortable because when I did actually do it, it was very uncomfortable, but I could not get them in my mouth. You can see I couldn't get my lip even over the guard. So this was kind of frustrating because then I had to have them send me smaller ones. So this kind of set me back more time, which was kind of disappointing, but they were super easy to work with, and they sent me smaller ones, free shipping again, so that was super nice. And once I got the smaller ones, I could finally do my impressions. So now you're gonna see my whole process of doing the impressions. I think the total time it took me was like 45 minutes. I think it was like 47 actually. So I heard other people have done it in like 30 minutes. It's totally up to you and your pace, but I did mine in 47 minutes. You're gonna see the whole thing here. Of course, I will speed up some parts because that would be horrible if I made you watch all 47 minutes in real time. So I will speed it up because you do 3 impressions of your top and 2 impressions of your bottom. So it's like the same thing over and over. So to prepare the putty, you put the gloves on and then you grab the blue putty and the gray putty and you're supposed to mix it together for 30 seconds. So you'll see that on the video here. You just kind of squish it together until it blends. Then you have 30 seconds to roll the putty and load it into the tray, and on the directions there is actually a box that you can help shape the putty into that box so you know what size to make it. Then once you have your rolled up putty lining your tray, you poke 2 holes about where your front 2 teeth will be, and then this is how you know where to line them up when you put the putty in your mouth so that your front 2 teeth are centered at the front. Then you hold each tray in your mouth for 3.5 minutes. So for your top impression, I would recommend holding kind of with your thumb so that it stays up and doesn't fall. And then on your bottom impressions, I just kind of had light pressure keeping them down, I guess. So you do this over and over. You'll see the process here just kind of repeating itself, but it gets better as you go on, and that's why they have you do 3 top and 2 bottom, so that they hope one of the top and one of the bottom is good enough to make your aligners with. So when I did my first impression, I put it in my mouth, and as soon as I got it like in place, I gagged really bad because I have a really bad gag reflex. So I immediately pulled it out and was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to finish this. Like, I can't do this. So I kind of had to be mentally tough going through this and had to kind of like meditate. And so I pulled up Netflix. So while I was holding the impression trays in there for 3.5 minutes, I had to watch Netflix. So you'll see that in the video. And this helped me kind of not focus on this large amount of material in my mouth. So my first impression was a fail. I had to go back and re-roll it and set it up all over again. While you're holding the impression in your mouth for 3.5 minutes, you will drool a lot. So I would suggest doing it by a sink or having just a paper towel at the bottom of your chin to catch it. I also would recommend taking your impressions out over the sink because this was when all the drool tended to drop out of your mouth. So definitely do it by a sink, or if you have a towel, I did it over the sink so that I could take it out and then kind of rinse my mouth right away. Sometimes they're kind of hard to get out. One of them I was taking out and I was pulling down on the impression tray and it came out, but the putty stayed around my teeth. So I kind of freaked out there, but I put the tray back in and then pulled it from the putty and then it came back. But it is a little tricky to pull the putty and the impression tray out. The nice thing is that the putty is minty flavored, so it doesn't taste bad. Like, it's not unpleasant in your mouth at all. When you're done, you basically just take all your impressions and you put them in the box that they give you in your kit. You tape it closed and it already has postage on it, so it's all set to go. Here's the instruction manual that they give you to do the impressions. It's very helpful, but make sure you still watch the YouTube video as well because that shows you how to do everything and gives you extra tips that the instruction manual doesn't have. So after you do your impressions, then your orthodontist creates a treatment plan for you. You'll get interactive images about how your teeth will move, how long it will take, and the process in between. So I really liked this because you can physically see, like, you weren't just told, okay, well, by the end of this, you're gonna have straight teeth. Well, I kind of have straight teeth now, but not what I want. So it was nice to see like what my teeth are supposed to look like after my 9 or 10 months of treatment. Another thing is that everyone's treatment lasts for a different amount of time. So I've heard some people go for 6 months and some people may go for a whole year. Everyone's is different, it just depends on the severity of your teeth. So you're gonna see my treatment here. So you'll see when I press play, it's going to start from where I'm at right now before the aligners. And then each little notch is every different set of aligners that you put in, so every 2 weeks. And so then by the end, that's what your teeth are going to look like when you're done with your aligners. So you can see from the front, there's not a whole lot of difference. My one main thing was getting those, 4 front teeth kind of in line on the bottom, because at the beginning, my lateral incisors kind of start up. So I wanted those to be more in level with my front teeth. The other crazy thing that you can tell from this angle is just how much movement I'm going to need to do in my molars. My molars are kind of messed up, which you'll see in the next view, but you can really see from this angle how much that they're shifting. And the next angle I'll show you is from the side, so you can really look at my bite. So you'll be able to see before we start, I have a big gap there. In the middle you can see, and then you can also see how your teeth are supposed to sit, like your front teeth are supposed to sit in the middle of your bottom, but that's not really the case for mine. So you'll see along this how that gets adjusted. And I also have a slight overbite, so they're going to bring that in, so my front teeth are going to be shifted backwards, that gap in the middle is going to be closed, and my molars are going to be more set into each other. And the next angle I will show you is my upper arch. So you can see at the beginning, those gaps again, I have them on both sides. My front 4 teeth are slightly offline, and then my back molars, here's where the problem comes in. Because you can see that they're rotated in, right? They don't set nicely on the teeth next to them. So you'll see here that they're actually going to get rotated back to normal, which I guess I never really knew that they were off. No one ever told me. Alright, now you'll see my lower arch. So starting out, I have a little bit of crookedness between my kind of front teeth. They're not really in line. They're supposed to be in that straight line across the top. And then I am missing a molar permanently, so that's why I have that little gap back there. So that's not normal, but it's normal for me. And you can see my molars are a little kind of crooked on the bottom, but not as much as the top. So you'll see that movement here. I'm going to straighten up the front, close my bottom gaps, bring my front teeth in. You get to see it right away, and you can go back and look at it as many times as you want. So I've probably looked at mine like 30 times, because over and over I've been contemplating whether I really want to do this. So it's a nice reminder, and it's a nice thing to look at when you're thinking about what your teeth are going to look like at the end. You can look at it as many times as you want, and I love that you can see it move as well. So now that I have purchased the aligners, they gave me a friend coupon so that others can use my coupon code for free impression kit and $100 off your aligners. So instead of paying $1,995 or $1,925 like I paid, you will only pay $1,800, which is such a good deal, so I will include that in the description here.